Before we get into this evening's live, I won't say this will be one of the more sugar-coated updates, but this will be one, or I should say lies, but this will be one that you all need to see for many reasons. One, the fact that XRP is down 5.7%, and we seemingly are heading down to that 54.4 cent level, 54.2 cents. And it seemingly is, unfortunately, for every reason why we talked about in the live this afternoon, or early this morning, why it looked bearish and it was coming down. It's doing exactly that. It looks like it's coming to at least try to tap that 54.2 cents. And then we very easily could find ourselves in a scenario very quickly where we run sub 50 cents. Now, if we hold 54.2, there is a very strong scenario at 8 o'clock that we could find our way back up and retest and back test an area up here. But as of right now, what we feared earlier, it's not looking good. There's no volume to support a further move up as of right now, but it's exactly what we talked about earlier when this dropped, because I felt like it was going to happen. I know all of you who were watching in the live, we came to an understanding. But with this drop, we have to make sure that it doesn't end up with something like this, remember. Because if it ends up with this inverse kind of head and shoulder setup, that could be one thing where it could spread us out and we could still find our way up there. But with what I'm seeing, I'm not going to say it would take a miracle, but it would take some kind of good fortune here with volume that shoots in here. It just shoots in here. Because as of right now, I'm not believing anything I'm seeing right now. And I kind of feel like this was a manipulated push up just to get some exit liquidity. And like I talked about this morning when we were still, you know, positive or at least close to even, it felt just like last Sunday. They built it up over the weekend and then they dropped a hammer on Sunday. Now, it's not as bad as last Sunday, but Bitcoin is still down 2,000 points right now, or 3.35%. And we don't even know, because it was when it got real bad last Sunday. Remember what happened after the close at 8 p.m., after the weekly candle close? We just tanked for the next 4 to 5 hours. So we'll see if we can start reversing back up, because if XRP loses that 54.2 cents roughly, there is nothing between us and 50 cents then. And then once that's lost, you have that technical level at 48, but you really don't have any real support structures until 42 or 43 area, but 42 cents in particular, which is the 2018 now. That formation, once we came to the uptrend, that would end up being considered the 2020 uptrending support. But it's the same support we've had going back to the structure that started back in 2018. And then if that breaks, then you've got the falling channel support, and that would get you down to about 34.6, I believe it is in current terms. But there's not much. We got this 42 cents down below. And I'm just saying, there's not much here. That's the cup and handle support. This would be the falling channel support. And then if we allowed ourselves to get there, we would have had to come through 54.27 already. So, I mean, if you look at just the charts itself, there's not much in between. Tom, if you hold any of those, check it out. Some other ones did it too, kind of weird. So here's the thing, guys. I'm talking about the clawback because it's always rubbed me the wrong way. The first time I talked about this back early this year, I got a lot of hate. I had 71 people that day unsubscribe from my channel. It's the most I've ever had in one day, and it still holds the record for the most that I've had. Even though it only showed like minus 17 in the statistics, it's because I had already gained subscribers throughout the day, and then they all dropped off, a bunch of people, because I talked about the clawback. And I'm going to talk about it again, and we're going to start out with what David Schwartz said and why he's a bullshitter, and why everything they're trying to tell you is all bullshit. Sure, it can give you the clawback, could give you in an instance where you send it to the wrong address. They could go back and reverse it. Or in the instance that the ledger made a mistake. But what they try to say, David Schwartz says, oh, it's in case the ledger makes a mistake and it goes against law or whatever. And in that case, I'm going to tell you why that's all bullshit, and why in actuality the clawback feature in the ledger actually gives the government the ability to confiscate your crypto, your XRP in particular, if they deem you doing something illegal. I'm telling you right now, that's what's happening. And I have an article that I've saved from a long time ago because I knew this would come back up. And this is from February 5th. And I'm going to read you something, and you need to take very close or pay very close attention for the sake of your cryptocurrency. Don't give away your cryptocurrency, or don't say, oh, this clawback feature is okay, just because they try to say it's going to save you in case you send it to the wrong address. I'm telling you, this is not what it seems like. So where did this go? I'm just going to type in the XRP clawback. I don't believe it's what it seems. I believe this gives a backdoor for your crypto to be confiscated. And again, they talked about it again today because they're slowly implementing this further and further and deeper within it. And just pay very close attention. So we have a lot to talk about this evening. Make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this live. I believe it's very, very important this evening, if not for the charts, maybe to gain a little understanding about what the clawback is all about and what it's actually going to be used for going forward. So make sure to hit that like button. You hit that like button, I show up on YouTube. Whether or not you've ever seen my content or not, I pop up on the news feed, and you can make a decision whether or not you want to see it. So make sure to hit that like button, and I will catch you on the other side of the intro. Good evening, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, August 11th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Oh, I understand. I see the comments. I understand it's to mitigate theft and that whole slew of things. But who's to say you give the government that kind of control to go back in and confiscate and I'm going to read something to you, and you're going to have to pay very close attention. Okay? And you can make an educated decision on whether or not you think this is for safety, as it's always designed for, as they always say it's for our safety. It's to mitigate the bad actors and yada, yada, yada. But along the way, you forget about that's your personal property. You don't want backdoor. You don't want a backdoor in there. Clawback is a feature I experienced in 2008 crash. My mortgage company had all commissions. Clawback. Hold on, I want to read that. Company had clawback, commissions, clawback, even legit mortgage sales, and it wrecked me in my business. See, I'm telling you guys, it's always under the guise of something else. It's always under the guise. So we're going to go into that. And I want to start there because we'll get into the charts. We know it's bearish. But let's read what's going on here with the clawbacks. I'm not going to make anybody wait. So if you want to leave after this, you can. So the XRP ledger feature has remained subject to discussion within the XRP community. So Ripple CTO drops key XRP ledger insight. So in a recent tweet, Ripple CTO David Schwartz provided insights into the clawback feature of XRP ledger. This feature has remained a subject of discussion within the XRP community, and Schwartz's recent insight has helped clarify its importance and functionality. According to Schwartz, the primary purpose of the clawback feature, and listen to the wording that he even uses, it's all bullshit, I'm sorry. Clawback feature is to address situations where the ledger is incorrect. He added that if a digital asset represents a legal obligation and the token indicates that the obligation exists when the legal system says it does not, then the ledger is fundamentally wrong. Responding to a discussion on X as regards the essence of the clawback feature, Schwartz stated, the main reason for the clawback is to fix cases where the ledger is literally incorrect. Listen, if a digital asset represents a legal obligation and the token says the legal obligation exists where the legal system says it doesn't, the ledger is wrong. So let me assert something to you here. You own XRP. You have the wrong political views. The government says that your cryptocurrency XRP is being used to pay for a political party that does not fall on the right side of the plot, right? You believe in the right and the country's going left, or vice versa in that situation if it comes upon. And then the government says you're using that to fund so-and-so, to fund your ability to support this party. Now, because of this feature, they can go back retroactively and take your crypto right out of your wallet by saying that they're going to retroactively take back that transaction. So let's continue reading, and then I'll go back to something I saved from back in February. So Kurt says, if your digital asset is stolen, there should be a way to retrieve it, or possibly if it's sent to the wrong address. Those are the only two good reasons I can think of for clawback to exist. In my own personal opinion, just like if you send money from a bank account and you want to send it, like through Chase, and you send it to the wrong account through Easy Pay or Quick Pay, it's on you. Sorry, you should have had the information correct. Don't tell me you're going to put some back end way to get my money back, but at the same time, it gives the government a loophole to take my money at the same time. Sorry, that doesn't work for me. Those are the only two good reasons. Think the clawback should exist. I agree with you that it exerts control, and none of us want that in a new financial system. So he says, the main reason for clawback is to fix cases where the ledger is literally incorrect. If a digital asset represents a legal obligation and the token says the legal obligation exists where the legal system says it doesn't, the ledger is wrong. And this really does piss me off, that not a lot of people actually don't pay attention to this. It does. It bothers me a lot, and it bothered me a lot. So many people would unsubscribe when I would share such truth with you. The clawback is an optional setting that users can select before distributing stablecoins. For regulatory purposes, some issuers must be able to recover issued tokens after they are distributed to accounts. For regulatory purposes, guys. For example, if an issuer discovers that tokens were sent to an account sanctioned for illegal activity, the issuer could recover or claw back the funds. Now, put it in the scenario. This country's going in a certain fashion. Assume, because I don't believe in politics, left or right, I don't care. I think it's a divisive tactic and the central banks controlling both. So just understand where I sit. But assume, with the way we're going, if you don't support the left in our country, it's seen as kind of a hate or racial thing now. So assume you were supporting Donald Trump, you sent crypto to the candidate, and the government deemed it that you were supporting a fascist, or you were supporting another communist, or whatever the case may be. And they said, you know what? They're sending this to support this candidate. They're sending it to support X business that we don't believe in. They're sending it to support X team that we don't think stands with the right. That's what I'm saying. You're leaving a situation now where the government can say that you are supporting something that, even if it's not your true intention and it's not even the case, they can use it as a loophole to start stealing your. I'm just saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. A new era of collaboration in the XRP Ledger community is beginning. In a recent tweet, RippleX stated that discussions are on, and listen to this part, about the evolution of XRPL Foundation into an entity that would serve the broader needs of the XRP Ledger community. An entity. XRPL Labs, XRPL Commons, the present XRPL Foundation, Ripple, and other members of the XRP community recently came together to explore ways to develop a more effective, inclusive, and visible XRP Ledger Foundation, as well as a path that goal. The primary purpose of this new foundation is to ensure long-term security, growth, and effective decentralized contributions to the XRP Ledger. One of the most significant near-term outcomes of these conversations is the decision to transfer existing XRPL Foundation essential assets to the new independent foundation. This new foundation will also have a governance structure intended to represent the whole XRP Ledger community. So it sounds like, things are changing a little bit. So here's this. This was back from the proposal. And now, since it's being implemented more, listen to the proposal. The proposal for clawback on the XRP, and this is back in February 5th of this year. The proposal for clawback on the XRP Ledger blockchain could enhance XRP's appeal to institutional investors, but its impact on the price may disappoint the bulls. The XRP community is rallying in support of recovery clawback proposal, and I said at the time it was going to do the opposite. Set to be implemented on the XRP Ledger on February 8, 2024. This proposal received overwhelming approval with 94% of its unique voter validators voting in favor. So the XRP recovery functionality aims to provide issuers with enhanced control over their distributed assets. For instance, it will allow issuers to recover funds from an associated account in circumstances such as loss of account access or fraudulent activities. And this is the official description, and this is why I said, for regulatory purposes, some issuers must have the ability to recover, and you've already read this, issue tokens after they have been distributed to accounts. For example, if an issuer discovers that tokens were sent to an account sanctioned for illegal activity, the issuer could recover or reclaim the funds. So, remember what David Schwartz said? He basically said the exact same thing as the official description. He didn't just officially, he said the exact same thing as the description we were given back in February. So, I don't trust it. I don't. I just think it gives you a loophole, and I don't want loopholes for somebody to come and steal my stuff. That's fine. Rage. If that's the case, if Nevis IBC is used to solely administrate it, that's one thing. But do you think it's going to actually be used solely? I'm just being honest. Do you think that's where we're going right now? Because I don't. If it is, then I'll sit here when it happens and we get that kind of confirmation and say, you know what? I feel a little better about this. No. I'm sorry. If I have to, I'll walk and get one. Just light it on the stove. Yes, you can. And then you walk out I would just walk out here then if you feel bad. Or walk with some spray, Julie. Walk with spray around. But I agree. Somebody said Schwartz is playing on. I agree with that. I'm so glad I saved that article because I read it because it bothers me, and it's saved. I have a lot of stuff saved, so I use it when it's convenient. But Nevis won't honor U.S. court orders and requires a bond before creditors can sue, but they won't let them implement it in that way. I'd be shocked. Me too. Yep. Same. That's exactly it, Rage. I'd be stunned if they actually did, but you're right. Under that situation, I agree with you. I'm Rage Monkey. I wouldn't be mad. I just don't believe it's going to happen in the way, you know? So that's the main bone I have to pick with that, because I just believe that I don't know. Crypto was a space that I was really excited about a few years ago because there was the lack of regulatory overreach. Now all of a sudden everybody's just willingly ready to give away their rights with crypto. It's the same thing we're dealing with in the real world. They're talking about lowering interest rates in the US and everybody's jumping for joy. Do you realize if you've made any kind of money and you're trying to make some investment or money on your return or return on your investment, ROI, you want return on investment. Period. How are you going to make investment returns if you're getting a very low interest rate or it's negative? Does anybody realize, and everybody's calling for this, they're praising the candidates when they say they want negative interest rates. Do you know what that means? Honestly, does anybody in my audience know what it means to have a negative interest rates at the bank? That would mean if you held money in the bank, you know how when it's at 4 to 5% you get that interest? Or when it's at 0.5% you get diddly squat? Imagine it was at negative 2%. That means if you had $1,000 in the bank, you'd have to pay 2% back to the bank. So it's not good. So that's what, yes, Rage, you would pay them, absolutely. So we're going down that road in crypto now, where they're trying to do all these backdoor ways to get us to pay fees, to get us to pay for, even if we wanted to stake something, they want you to pay extra things. Now they want you to have a backdoor to where if they think that you're using your crypto for illegal purposes, the government can come in and take it under the guise of illegal activities. And it could be as simple as you support the wrong candidate sometime down the road. That's what I'm saying. The wrong affiliation with something. I mean, kid, do you really want to go that route? And apparently we do, because everybody's agreeing on it. You know, at least the ones who think it's a good idea. I just don't understand. I'm over here when everybody's over here saying it's great, it's great. I'm over here saying, are we out of our fucking minds? Excuse my French. But anyhow, right now, I'm going to get past that. But I just wanted to absolutely rage. They sure did. And yeah, the one world company, the one world currency, I solely believe that's how we come to the central bank digital currency. Do you really think Trump's the crypto president and Kamala's all of a sudden the crypto queen? Or is it more likely the central banks are ready to turn the USA and start to turn on the central bank digital currency and flip from this paper money, or currency I should say, because only gold, silver, and precious metals is money? Or do you think it's more likely that they're getting ready to flip us to digital ID with the guise of, you know, you'll see. I'm just saying. That's where we're going right now. So I didn't even plan on coming back on tonight, but I got home, and this was a topic that bothers me. So every now and then, especially when I see David Schwartz spinning it in a way that I don't appreciate, it's just, it's unbelievable. So Lee says, I am 54. When I was growing up, no one talked. Hold on, I might need to read that. Fear and greed index right now. The fear's at 39, 36 minutes before the weekly candle close, which we'll get into the XRP chart. Very hot and heavy now going forward. Yesterday, we were at 40. Last week, 34. Last month, extreme fear at 25. Lee said 54. No one talked about their political preference or who they voted for. It was kept secret and nobody's business. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's been used as a tool for division now, unfortunately, and everybody bought into it hook, line, and sinker. But anyhow, 55 cents for XRP, down at 55, about 54.9, 55 cents, down a good 5.9% on the day. We've come exactly, basically, what we talked about for the last unfortunate, time. But it does look like we're going to satisfy this tap down to 54.2 at least. We've come very close. Very, very close. We were talking about 54.2. We came down to 54.6. We're essentially splitting hairs now. So could I have had it off a little bit? Maybe, but I don't think so. I actually think it was in a good spot. So we'll see what happens here going forward. And then if it breaks this, it would invalidate everything. If 54.2 is lost, I don't see much way of us coming back up and just having a historical rally. Hourly's pretty oversold. So at some point, I do see us going to have to come up and back test this. Now we have a death cross in the hourly, confirmed. 2 hourly, we've come back and have a bearish cross. So earlier, I was talking about how, and I don't want to talk about it in the past tense too much, but it was during the earlier live, so you can always go back and watch from this morning. But we talked about how some, when it was like this, would assume that it could be a bump and run. But I talked about how I thought it was a bearish bump and run, and what ends up happening is you just end up breaking the pattern. And I don't know. I think it's come much too far, unless it does something like this, which it could. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'll be honest. Like I said this morning, I'm hoping for that scenario. I'm just hoping that it does create what ends up being a inverse head and shoulders out of nowhere. And that's what I'm hoping for. Just me personally. If you're asking what XRP Future Millionaire is hoping for and wants, that's what I want. D. Scott says, laugh out loud, Bruce. Share with the community before it's clawed back. I love it. Yeah, no. That's why I hope it holds this, because if it's the classic ABC correction, we're going to have a big move back up. That's what I'm saying. If this holds, we're in good shape, folks. This is the support structure. That's the support structure. Even though we're below the 2018 resistance, this would just be the corrective phase. That's why this is so important. We haven't broke down. I'm not even upset right now. I'm actually very positive, upbeat. The only thing I'm upset about is the way they spun the clawback feature again today. That's all. So I voiced my opinion. But as far as the chart goes, I don't think we look all that bad. But if we do lose 54.2, don't lose your shorts. Don't get all mad. Don't say XRP owes you something. The odds are we come back to 48 or 50. But that can only happen if we break down below. And you guessed it, we still have the cup and handle support below us in a beautiful spot. We got it at 42.20 if we have to come way down. So it's not like we're just giving up yet, folks. And what else? What else is going on? A descending consolidation. That's bullish consolidation after a move up. You want to see this kind of stuff. One could argue that if we look at, I mean, this is what you want to see. If you're starting to have a consolidation, you want these descending consolidations. You have these lower lows and lower highs in succession until the pattern ends up reversing. Now, if you break down, you're fucked. I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but if you break down, then you got to correct. And that doesn't mean that you're all up screwed, but it means you could have to come to 48 to 50. That's all. You know, you hear what I'm saying? If you break 54.2, you probably don't have a lot of strength at 52. But you might have somewhere around 50 or 48. If not, then you'll go to 42, 43 area. If that fails, then you go to the 34.6 falling channel support. So you don't have to get all like, don't let your emotion dictate it, but at least understand where the levels are. You know, at least understand what you're dealing with. We knew when we didn't break above 64.6, as great as it was that we were above the rising channel resistance at 61.1 and the cup and handle resistance we had topped for a moment at 64.4. We never got to get on top of 64.6, so the fact we didn't hold it, we knew was an issue. It's still a big issue, and that's why we reversed back down. Eventually, the sellers were going to overwhelm the buyers because there weren't a lot of them after that initial ruling on Friday about the $125 million proposal that the judge made. And that Ripple seems all but ready to agree. Try channel trading the XRP Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. That's what we've done a bunch of times. We made a lot of money off the XRP Bitcoin pairing just a few short months ago. We accumulated. I had a beautiful, we've just had it set up so nicely, and some rode it all the way up to that 1116. Now, unfortunately, it didn't hold and finish off the 1284, but it filled out the technical short-term target. But before that, Rage, I don't know if you were in here watching this, but I had bought $5,000 in the XRP Bitcoin pairing on this inverse, what I thought was an inverse head and shoulders. And I wrote it up initially, and we had a technical target initially that was up at like the 800 sat level that I sold at about 790. And then I rebought it back in once it back tested and wrote it all the way up, sold it again and bought it at support and wrote it back up. I did this over and over, rinse, repeat. And it was fantastic. Every time the Bitcoin ratio was out of whack, I would buy it through Bitcoin. And then when it worked back into my favor, if I wanted to get cash so that I can rinse, repeat, if I wanted to buy into something else, I would put it into the XRP side of it. And then you have to remember, if Bitcoin's side went into the favor out against you, if it was on the XRP side, but XRP's price was appreciating, you would still do fine. Because the appreciation of XRP would still be in your favor. It didn't go down the actual price. So yeah, it was a fantastic time. Oh, I love it. A lot of people don't understand the XRP Bitcoin strategy. The fact that you can simply keep flipping it from Bitcoin to XRP depending on which one you think is going to have the move against the other. For instance, if you buy Bitcoin as your way of buying into the XRP Bitcoin pairing, initially you would just simply hold Bitcoin. And then you could trade it for XRP in the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Now, the difference is if you buy XRP, you can't trade it initially to Bitcoin and vice, you know, it's different. You're holding XRP. Now, if you have a way to convert it to Bitcoin, well, then you can be on that side of it. But just holding XRP, you can't take advantage of both sides. So you have to be on an exchange that actually lets you convert XRP to Bitcoin and Bitcoin to XRP through the pairing. And then if you finesse it properly, even if the prices are both going down, if you have it in the right one over the other, let's say Bitcoin falls 10%, XRP falls 6%, but you have it on the XRP side, you're going to appreciate 4% of your holdings. And then let's say you put it back into Bitcoin, and then XRP drops 10% and Bitcoin only drops 2%, there's another 8% appreciation, even though everything keeps going down, and now all of a sudden you hold 10% more. You know, that's just the way to do it, and a lot of people get rich doing it too, and not a lot of traders know about it. That is in the video description below. You can do that through the XRP Bitcoin pairing on HOTCOIN. Look at HOTCOIN and BITUNIX. They have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA and worldwide. You can trade them both everywhere. No KYC or VPN worldwide unless you're sending or receiving from a bank account. And the XRP Bitcoin pairing, which we're talking about, you can see clearly. I mean, you can trade it very easily on HOTCOIN if you want to take advantage of it. And you can also copy trade me there. We added another 4.8 or 5% gain yesterday to our $100 challenge. So right now we started with $100 and it's up to just over $236. So yes, we are up 136% if you've taken trade one until the last trade. So kudos to anybody who stuck true. I was not expecting this live either, JW. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. As I said last week, lad, 53-cent slingshot to 75. I actually like that. I'm looking for a bounce back down. If it's going to slingshot, that's exactly in my range around 54.2. Now, that might be off. As I said, it could be lower. It actually might be better served right here but we have to honor this area until it breaks. So I'll just put both. Because we have to honor this area at least until it breaks. Only because we've had a support bounce on here and then have big bounce up. And then every time we came through this support, it had a big drop down. But one could argue that the final support is right there at 53. Let's put this up here. One could argue that, and I'm not arguing, I'm just saying one could make the case that that down there at 53.13 is where we're going to come down here. And then we could hold and make this newly inverted head and shoulders pattern. So that would be fantastic. Actually, we could have a big bounce back up to about 70. You're right in the perfect ballpark here. Honestly, I like your analysis. See, I love my audience. Initially, this is up here at about 67. Here, let me get rid of this shit. Initially, this is up at about 67. But you're in the exact ballpark. If we do hold this, it gets us to... That's the eventual breakout. 70.3 cents initially would be a good area. That's a solid area. So 75 to 85 from now to mid-September. Hopefully. I hope so, but unfortunately we're creating a topping reversal pattern. So I hope you're right. And I hope we garner the attention here to get the liquidity we need for a topside push. I hope the bears can take control. Now, I'm happy we came down to 54.6 cents because it at least cleared out what we were seeing, that 6-7% drop today. So at least we've satisfied that. Now, could we come down farther? Yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely, and this could just be the start. But we're starting to have that corrective phase here. Bitcoin was down about 2,000 points so far today, 2,000 bucks. I mean, it did pull that reversal now. Now, we're to that very key area. Do we get below 58,400? Not yet. We tapped it. So technically, Bitcoin could be working on its own inverse pattern. But that's what you're looking at above you for Bitcoin resistance you've created now. To push back up, we need to pass 61,948 and then 65,615 and ultimately 69,740. And it can be done. It's just if we break down this 58,431, it could be you could make the case we might end up coming back all the way to 52,700 area. Maybe a little bit higher rate here at about 53,500, but you could make the area. Oh yeah, right. The SEC absolutely indicated that they're going to appeal. That's why I tell everybody be careful because technically, think about it. You have to have both parties agree to what the judge said. Otherwise, you could go to trial. Just as much as it's up to Ripple to agree to the terms, it's also up to the SEC to say that they agree with the changed amount and they don't want any further look into this. So basically, the SEC wanted just over $2 billion in total. They got $125 million out of the judge. So let's just put it this way. If they don't agree with what the judge said, just as much as Ripple doesn't agree, if one party doesn't agree, it's not over. So until they both agree, Ripple can't even pay. I mean, they could technically send the check in, but it's not going to cash. It's not. If the SEC doesn't agree, who gives a rat's ass the money they send in? It's not official. Somebody gave the illustration of it's just like a parking ticket. Once you pay it, it's over. Yeah, but both sides have to agree. The judge has to go and here's an argument, and then you sign off on it. So you sign off on what the judge says at the end. If both parties aren't signing off on it and they disagree, they can find other avenues to appeal the decision. And yeah, on the onset, it looks like a win for, let's just say it goes against you or for you. But let's say they go on appeal and they disagree. Like the cop says, I vehemently disagree with this decision. I'm going to take another recourse and go above you. Or if the person says, I disagree with your outcome. And yeah, you may have it on point here, but I'm getting a lawyer and I'm going to fight this even further. You know, and there's outstanding circumstances where it happens every day. XRP reached almost $2 with the lawsuit. Yeah, but do you realize there was quantitative easing? And the way that money was being printed, it was being poured into crypto. It's apples to oranges right now. Now, if they start lowering rates, then we can get back into those terms. I'm not disagreeing with you. But we need to lower rates again, and they're getting close. We're getting close to easy money. You need easy money. But if they put regulations in, we don't get the casino-like feel. That's the problem. We don't want regulations. I don't. I didn't join crypto because of the government control. I joined it because it was an easier way for me to get out of the stock market, where every single time I was about to make life-changing money, they would always halt the asset. Always. And then they would give the ability, if you were holding it through spot, they would give you the ability to where you couldn't buy it, but anybody could sell it, which meant if you were on a leverage or a call option, you were fucked because you could only sell. So when it came back online, obviously the price was going to be way down and your call option's worthless. They do that all too often. Or if you're making too much money, they will shut the asset off. Or if it's dumping too quickly, they will halt it. So that was one way to get away from that nonsense, was to come to crypto. But yet, behold, here we are in 2024, where everybody's begging their governments to regulate them and bend them over even further. Like, what don't we understand as a society? Stop giving away your liberties. You don't need the government to tell you how to trade fucking crypto. Learn. Excuse my French. But it really does irritate me. Stop begging them to give you control over everything. Don't ask for permission. Just do it. Do you really want to live in a world where just to get online, you got to use a VPN? Which, again, another concoction of the government. You don't think these VPN companies record everything you do and send it in for a future time later? But I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to get banned, but it's the truth. I don't want to keep going down this level. XRP Healthcare down 6.8% to 2.756 cents. XRP is going to go down back to the consolidation zones unless XRP would have broke out. It didn't. This is going to follow it as closely as anything you've ever seen. We need a pure breakout. We need the ledger and XRP to start rocking. Right now, there's too much uncertainty. We've had our move. We had a substantial move, and as I told everybody, if you want to get out, you've got plenty of opportunity. But right now, we're within this consolidation on the back test. So this is just a back test consolidation. Perfectly normal. Perfectly normal, but there's no guarantee that it doesn't come down farther than those support levels. 2 hourly, 3 hourly is massively oversold. You can see what's happening. 4 hourly, every time it gets into here, it becomes massively oversold. 4 hourly, daily time frame moving up, got some room to work up. Weekly's in the uncertain range. It's basically in the middle. So right now, I'd say we're probably heading back down in current terms, and we're pretty close right now. If I'm being honest, we're pretty close to where I think we should go. But we're working our way back down to that 248. That is very close to my average we'll be getting to. Very close. So there could become a circumstance. Well, no, there's not, because it's very hard. I can't even buy it anywhere in the U.S. now. So I'm stuck with the 55,000 plus. I'm going to sit on it for a few years. So mine is still being staked, but obviously, if you know going forward, you won't be able to. They ran out of their staking amounts. There was only set amounts set to the side. So if you took advantage, you did. If not, you didn't. But man, it's a weird time. And please, all I ask if you're watching right now is hit that like button. We have 149 people. We have not even hit 100 likes in this live. That's pretty interesting. So if you do, if you could, please help me get to 100 likes just for a mental boost, and that would still leave us, 33% of the people not hitting the like button. I must not be hitting the mark today, at all. But I think it's good information. I mean, it might not be what everybody wants to hear, but I think it's good information. The XRP market cap right now, I mean, it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar right now. We've come below, we're right below the 200-day right now at 31.06 billion. It's tough right now. We're in a tough spot right now. Because as much as I want it to hold up, it looks like it could just come rotating back down like last Sunday. I want this to be an inverse head and shoulders very badly and push up to 38.6. But we'll see. We'll see if we have some testicular fortitude here at the other side of 8 o'clock. If we have some testicular fortitude here on the other side of 8 o'clock. That's what we're going to be looking for. Let's see if anything pops out in the news that I haven't seen. Oh, yes! How could I forget the tether news? Oh, my God. The tether news. How could I forget this? So, could Bitcoin crash? Celsius slaps tether with a $2 billion lawsuit over Bitcoin. I completely forgot about this. So Bitcoin, the leading cryptocurrency, continued its bullish trend around the 61,000, yada, yada, yada. Despite negative news about Celsius accusing Tether of fraudulent Bitcoin transfers exceeding $2 billion, this upward momentum continued. Tether allegedly breached contract terms and hastily liquidated Bitcoin, which could have undermined investor confidence and pressured Bitcoin price. Oh yeah, Tether is absolutely a Ponzi scheme. I've talked about this for over 3 years. However, on a positive note, MicroStrategy's plan to raise up to $2 billion to expand its Bitcoin holdings could mitigate the negative impact of the Celsius Tether controversy. With 226,500 Bitcoin already in its portfolio, this move may enhance market confidence and drive further Bitcoin price increase. Celsius lawsuit against Tether raises concerns over Bitcoin price impact. Celsius Network has sued Tether, accusing it of fraud for transferring over $2 billion worth of Bitcoin questionably. Celsius alleges that Tether broke their agreement by quickly selling off Bitcoin which Celsius had used as collateral. This hasty liquidation, according to Celsius, was done to unfairly benefit Tether, as Celsius was nearing bankruptcy. They claimed Tether sold 39,542.42 Bitcoin at prices lower than market value, which caused them significant financial harm. Celsius is now trying to recover these lost Bitcoin and is asking for damage for the breach of contract. Network Ltd has filed a lawsuit against it and its affiliate entities. The lawsuit alleges that the issued conducted fraudulent and preferential transfers of amounting to over $2 billion total. So if you're on an exchange that does not have USDC as an option to store your money, and it's specifically run on Tether, United States digital currency, like you'll know. Yeah. United States digital Tether, I'm sorry, not USDC, but you need United States digital currency. But if it's USDT, that is a problem, because exchanges like Kraken rely on their funds being in USDT to pay holders. As to the last of my knowledge, when I refused to use them, they did not have a USDC option. If you don't have an option in USDC, leave the exchange immediately. On the other hand, Tether's CEO Paolo Ardonio denies these accusations. He explains that the Bitcoin liquidation was carried out at Celsius's request during a market downturn, and he prescribes the lawsuit as baseless. Tether plans to defend itself against these claims in court strongly. Therefore, this news could negatively impact Bitcoin's price by raising concerns about market manipulation and instability within the crypto industry. The legal battle between Celsius and Tether might shake up investor confidence, potentially leading to a decline in Bitcoin prices. MicroStrategy's $2 billion expansion plan could boost Bitcoin's prices. MicroStrategy, a major Bitcoin investor led by Michael Saylor, has announced plans to raise up to $2 billion to potentially buy more Bitcoin. Currently, the company owns 226,500 Bitcoin worth over $13.88 billion, making it the largest public holder of Bitcoin. This announcement has generated excitement in the cryptocurrency world. Many believe that if MicroStrategy invests a large portion of this money into Bitcoin, it could boost Bitcoin prices and positively push the price back towards 75K. MicroStrategy planned $2 billion Bitcoin purchase. Although MicroStrategy hasn't confirmed if they will spend all $2 billion on Bitcoin, any significant purchase is expected to increase market confidence and drive up Bitcoin prices. The company has already invested nearly $8.4 billion in Bitcoin over the past 4 years, leading to a remarkable 995% growth in its value since 2020. So investors are eagerly watching for further news from MicroStrategy, as any major moves could signal a new rise in Bitcoin's value. This news could positively impact Bitcoin's price by boosting market confidence. MicroStrategy's potential $2 billion investment in Bitcoin might reignite interest in the crypto market and push Bitcoin price towards 75K. As investors anticipate a significant increase in demand, Bitcoin faces resistance. As we know, it's already down past below 59K. So on the support side, the first critical support at 59.9 fell through, followed by 59.3, which is held, and then if we lose that, 57,145. Technical indicators reveal a nuanced market condition. The relative strength index RSI is at 5840, suggesting a neutral market, but slightly leaning towards bullish. The 50-day exponential moving average, the MA position at 59,970, which we're now below, is acting as a resistance. So that's all I wanted you guys to see there. But that's it, everybody. That's all I wanted to say. I came on, said my piece. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I think I'm going to call it a day there. This is my second live of the day. And I want to go back inside and make sure Julie and my son are doing good. We just got back home from the party, and I immediately came on and did a live here, an impromptu live. Did over an hour earlier, at least close to it. So I feel pretty good with what we've done here. Unless there's any other questions here, which I'd love to hear if anybody has a question, concerns. If you'd like to know what the hell's going on here. Nearly 1 a.m. here in Ireland. Hopefully I'll wake up to 20% richer, up to 70 cents. Quick recap. XRP, you know, looking a little bearish here. We've got 54.2 cents support underneath. We would need to get back up and over that 57.3 cents to invalidate this drop. To get back over 2018 resistance. The clawback feature with the XRP ledger, I think, is just a sleek way for the government to be able to confiscate your crypto. As far as on the ledger, they say it's a safety feature in case you send your crypto to the wrong spot, yada, yada, yada. David Schwartz tried to play on that. So I just think you need to go back to the beginning, honestly. I think you need to go back to the beginning on this. In the beginning, honestly. Because there's no way I can properly explain everything I said going into this. Tom, you got an email. I'd like to share some charts with you. Excellent, Ariel. I'll definitely look at those. I will definitely look at those once I get out of here. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody. I really, really do. People are leaving now because obviously you're anticipating I'm going to leave at some point. 136 people here, still 138 likes. Awesome. I really, really love seeing that. Hey, watch and listen. Welcome in. I apologize you got here towards the end, but my voice is pretty tired, and I want to make sure I'm good for the trading week. My second live today. I've done an update and a short already, so this is my, fourth different thing I've put out. So I'm very happy with what we do here. I'm very happy. Let's see what everybody's saying. What's on the minds of the XRP holders? XRP, never going up more than $1 USD. Sell all now. I see no worthy comms here. Ripple RLUSD stablecoin will run on the XRP ledger, which will match the quickest route of transfer, yada, yada, yada. Time to buckle up. So yeah, not much going on there. Yeah, I'm optimistic long term. I still hold XRP. Just short term, I'm not exactly sure what their plan is. Until we break and hold the 2018 resistance and get outside of that cup and handle resistance at 64.4 cents, we're going to be stuck within this long-standing consolidation. And yeah, I get more optimistic as the day goes by because we're getting closer to the end of the year. But I'm very, very optimistic long term. But it has massive consolidation for years. When it goes, it will be... Oh, yeah. It definitely will. Once this... It's over 6.5 year consolidation. Once that breaks out, it's going to be the technical target out of this consolidation is somewhere plus $2.30 if we break bullish. It's going to take a while, but that's just... CQC says, I'm so tired. Bought all wrong. Cost basis is 72 on a good side. But yeah, I understand. I understand it's very exhausting, especially if you buy it in the wrong spots. JW, thanks for sharing the emote or the emoji emote that's exclusive to the members of Tom's Army, as there's like 15 extra emojis you can use. It's XRP Future Millionaire emotes. They let me add it for the members of Tom's Army, and they finally approved it today. So there's like 12 or 15 different emotes or emojis that you get that are exclusive to the members. I wish everybody could have them, but YouTube doesn't work like that. They only let the YouTube members get them that pay. Bitcoin, though, is reversing down even farther. I mean, I'm just saying, if we lose 58,431, this is a problem. Yep, that's my son, Ed. Anybody in Tom's Army now? Here, I'll show you. So if you're in Tom's Army... It got approved today, but I submitted as one of my perks for the members of Tom's Army to have their own emoji badges. Since it won't let me do it publicly, I can do it privately, and it got approved. So now if you go into the membership area, you can see, if you go into see perks, so you get the badges, but now you get those custom emojis that you can use in comments and live chat. So all of those you can use, and they're my emojis that are, you know, usable on my channel if you're a member of Tom's Army. So some of them you recognize, some of them you don't, and they'll be future. You've got an exclusive look in the future emoji badges of members of Tom's Army. One of those is a month 4 or year 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Every single one of those, except for 3 of them, are different year emoji badges in the future. So eat your heart out, because I think that there's a lot of cool stuff in this community. Cape Cod Kyle, I hope that it lets you use those, even though it's not showing me right now. You're a member in Tom's Army. But I know you are, and hopefully it lets you still use them, because sometimes it shows you or sometimes it doesn't, which is funny. But yeah, that's something that was approved today. I'm pretty excited about that, to be honest with you. I like that. I like making the community... Yeah, I love that one. That's the Bears. That's the Bears taking control of XRP in that emote. I love it. And that emoji, and that emote, or that emoji, that's the Bears taking control. There's also one where the Bulls take control, and then there's a bull and bear tussle in one of them. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool what we do here. I really do appreciate what we do here. The Bears. Yep. Those are the Bears. Those are the Bears. So you can share in the chat whether you think we're going bearish or bullish. I don't believe XRP is a dead coin. It's just, it's in a period of time. But all right, everybody, I'm going to leave it at that. I got to go. I see Julie signaling me. Have a blessed evening, and thank you.